just introduced landscape, and so would like to focus on landscape definition of the European Landscape Convention. Landscape means an area as perceived by people whose character is the result of the action and interaction of natural and human factor. And especially the convention calls for education, particularly the construction of school and university curricula dealing with landscape values and its preservation, management, and planning that are so important. What, in your opinion, are the possible connections between landscape and green education? Also with a view to nurturing young Europeans towards active and responsible citizenship.
Thank you. So, I mean, the link is quite obvious, I should say. I'm not an expert in cultural heritage, but I mean, it's obvious that when it comes on, I was referring to Green Comp before, I was referring to the Council recommendation, and reading these documents, you will immediately understand how it's really fully connected. As you know, there was also an open method of coordination that was launched on strengthening cultural heritage resilience for climate change. And there again, you can see the connection that are very interesting. You remember that the Council recommendation was talking about, for instance, the possibility to give learners hands-on opportunities to observe and care for nature. Green Comp, one of the key competencies in Green Comp under the competence area embodying sustainability values is about promoting nature. And if I read promoting nature, it says embodying sustainability values is about advocating equity and justice for current and future generations, while supporting the view that humans are part of nature. And when it comes to the competence under that area, promoting nature is about acknowledging that humans are part of nature and to respect the needs and rights of our species and of the nature itself in order to restore and regenerate healthy and resilient ecosystems. So having an education that has a strong focus on landscape and remind the learners that is part of nature and that caring about cultural heritage and landscapes at large is key in terms of facing and envisioning a more sustainable future. I mean, it seems obvious to my view. So my first answer to your question would be certainly that there are links and that they've got to be absolutely strengthened. Then, of course, for what regards the details of what has to be done, I mean, I'm not an expert and I won't dare to give you some specific answers to that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all these all these insights. Maybe Paola wanted to add something, or no? I thought that you wanted to add something, but this talk was very rich, and I think that it emerged a connection, very strong connection between green education and landscape education, but also with heritage, cultural heritage education. And I also think that in this discourse, we can find some contents that were already in the cultural heritage education recommendation from 1998. Was from Europe, and the need to an active methodology, participation, community-based learning, and active methods and a transversal approach are all topics that are common between these different domains that maybe are not so different, but this is just a suggestion. And maybe you want to add something.
I will just finish by inviting the people who are listening to us to join the community, because the very nice thing when you do a MOOC is that you want a follow-up, of course. So you will give a follow-up, I'm sure. But if they want to follow up also the discussion and bring in that community the very topic of cultural heritage and find for supports and for partners at transnational level, that community is for them. I'm not important here. It's about the community members, and there are amazing people in that community, really. So come join and on work with your partners at transnational level.
Thank you so much, Tremeur Denigot. It's always a pleasure to discuss with you, and thank you for your great support to this talk and to this process that is very, very relevant for us, isn't it?
Yes, thank you for your so inspiring conversation that can help us to engage in active citizenship, of course, and education.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.